Good evening for all of us here in the United States. I'm here with JB and with Daddy Alvin Abarquez. I guess so. We just have to do something. This is very technical. We thought that Facebook is or have already rolled out. How do you call this? Going live and being able to share. Presentation at the same time. That didn't work out tonight, but definitely we'll try to figure out how that's going to be because I think that is most convenient for a lot of people. So right now we are live from my personal account, and let me just do some clicking and share ourselves in the alumni of the Rizal Youth Leadership Institute. Okay, so we are now here in my oh, we're not even here yet. Where are we even live? Okay, we are here and we're going to share it to the alumni of the Rizal Youth Leadership Institute. So here we go. Okay, we moved here. Okay, so I'm typing. Okay. Okay. And let's see if we're also live in the alumni of the Rizal Youth Leadership Institute right here. Okay, I hope we are. Okay, so we just moved. Okay, we're just gonna continue now because wherever we are going to be live, I want to share this to Alvin's account also. Okay, Alvin. Share to friends profile. Yes. Okay, Alvin. Because there were 14 people who are interested to join us tonight. Okay. And we are going to be ready. Okay, so let's go back to that. So this is our first time together to be live, and it's going to be an adjustment for us. But our topic for tonight and this morning in the Philippines, mayong buntag di ay sa Pilipinas. Mag-greet sa ta, magbisaya sa ta. Okay. Mayong buntag sa Maayong buntag sa Pilipinas, maayong gabi diri sa United States, and wherever you are in the world right now. Welcome to the alumni of the Rizal Youth Leadership Institute. This might be very confusing for all of you guys because it's airing from my personal page, shared to the alumni of the Rizal Youth Leadership Institute, and shared also to our personal Olive Photographics YouTube channel. But that is okay. Okay, so tonight we're going to be talking about summer swimming do's and don'ts. So it's already summer and people flock to the beach or to the swimming pool, and they're just ready to have fun. But it's not going to be fun if something terrible happens, right? So safety first. Na before ta moambak sa tubig, kinahanglan makabalo ta unsa tong angay buhaton. So this is primarily JD's presentation. We're helping him or initiating, him to be able to do presentations online, and he will be the main speaker for tonight, assisted by no other than Alvin Abarquez, the dad, of course. So let's go back to the topic. People flock to the beach, to the swimming pool, and they're just about ready to have fun. But here are some information that you need to know. It takes only a moment, okay? Only a moment, a child or a weak swimmer to drown, okay? And how short is that moment? That moment is the same time as, texting a reply to a text message. It's also as short as when somebody's applying sunscreen and somebody is already drowning. That's how quick it is. So we want to save lives. We want to protect our children, and we have to make sure that they are safe. Now, our do's and don'ts tonight. will cover a big range of what to do and what not to do when you are going swimming. So, for the information of everyone, death and injury that has to do with swimming or drowning happens every day, whether it's in the swimming pool, in the beach, while swimming in the ocean, even in the personal bathtubs of people. Drowning happens. That's why swimming is actually a very basic life skill, right, Dad?
That's right.
That's right. So it's a life skill. It should actually be taught to everyone. Everyone should be taught how to swim, especially here in the United States where people have their backyard pool. Little children should be taught how to swim. And then back in the Philippines, Philippines is an archipelago. It's a country of islands, and people should learn how to swim. So the Abarquez family, are actually promoting water safety. So water safety means a lot of things, but learning how to swim should be one of them, right? The learning how to swim, that is that part of the water safety.
Yeah. Safety skill and life skill, not just to keep yourself safe, and you can also help others.
Yeah, and also help others. Very good. So since everyone seems to be heading to the beach or getting into a party, in a pool party with friends, the alumni of the Rizal Youth Leadership Institute, we've talked about this, the team, very briefly, that thinks that it's very important for the youth to know what are the things that they need to do, and what are the things that they shouldn't be doing when the youth will, or the children will, plan to go swimming. Okay, so here are the do's and don'ts of swimming. Our main speaker for tonight is our 15-year-old newly certified Red Cross lifeguard, a former swimmer of um, li- Jersey Flyer Aquatics team, and also Scarlet Swim team. Okay, so recently he's part of the TNEC High School swim team, and he's our main speaker for tonight. Let's all welcome JB. Yay! And of course, our important guest speaker for tonight is, of course, Mr. A already. He is a physical education teacher, used to be an instructor in Cebu Normal University, swimming instructor at Cebu Normal University, as well as in Cebu Doctors University. He's a certified lifeguard and a Red Cross Life Saving Awardee of 2019. Let's all welcome Mr. Alvin Abarquez. Right?
Thanks.
Okay, so let's, without further ado, I will move this closer to them because this is our setup. And then I will be here in the background presentation. So let me just do the share. Okay. Chrome tab. Did we say Chrome tab? Okay.
Right, so you already know me. I'm JV Abarquez. I'm 15 years old. I swam for Scarlet, swam for JFAC, and I am a newly certified lifeguard. And we're here today to discuss, things you should do and not do at literally any body of water for entertainment or exercising, especially during the summertime, since everybody's going to be going out and probably going to be at the beach or the pool. So, uh, one thing you should do is put on sunscreen. It helps prevent uh, skin cancer. What's it called? What is it called, Dad?
Yeah, sunburn.
Oh, sunburns. I'm blanking. Uh, Skin cancer, sunburns, or any just skin ailments, especially if you have like sensitive skin, a skin rash.
Yeah. It's basically like how to protect yourself when you go swimming. You go out swimming, especially under the heat of the sun, and not as summer, especially in the Philippines. even here in New York, New Jersey area, or summer season is intensely hot, so you have to protect yourself.
Even in Canada, it gets like 41 degrees over there in certain places. So yeah, put on sunscreen. It helps prevent skin cancer, sunburns, or any like skin ailments. And just about any sunscreen would do the job. Of course, there are different sunscreens for like different parts of the body. It will be more effective here or there, but just about any sunscreen will do the job.
Yeah, or also if you're not what's that, a fan of sunscreen, then you can use
Yeah, you don't like, yeah,
rash guards, or yeah, yeah, just like me, I'm not a big fan of using sunscreen. So I don't want to feel like greasy on my skin or on my face. It also irritates my eye. So um, not unless I go for a long distance swim, like for or for a race. So I'll be forced to use sunscreen. Otherwise, if it's just for fun, staying on the water for like teaching swimming or having fun with the family or with the friends, then I'll use rash guard, or and at the same time use what's that,
bag hat.
like a hat with
Oh,
the
like a bucket hat.
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's basically the first one for the
Something
first
you should
topic
do.
JB's discussing talking about.
And that's that segues really great into our second do, which is to wear proper swimwear. And relating to what my Miss Alvin Abarquez said, wearing a rash guard or like uh, a swim shirt or swimwear will help prevent uh, sunburns and uh, yeah.
Yeah. Let me add something about wearing proper swimwear. Not just here in United States, just also in the Philippines, that we have to learn what are the appropriate um, attire when you go swimming. Because I remember when I was in Philippines, sometimes you could just wear anything you want, or maybe even just wearing basketball shorts or jeans, that jean shorts. That that makes you feel like uh, not very comfortable moving
It
around in the
restricts your
water.
movement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it restricts your movement, and when you're caught in like in a current, and you're wearing something like so loose
Or
or
something very tight that restricts your movement.
very
You're not
tight,
gonna
so
be able
it's
to.
going to restrict your movement to get yourself into safety. So it would be like dragging, and
Yeah.
like if you're wearing a big shirt or big basketball shorts. So as much as possible, try to wear something comfortable and not so loose, or
But
not
not too tight. Not
but
too
not too
light.
tight, and not like um, uh, that's going like really cotton, like it's going to make you feel heavy
Like
when
probably a
yeah,
polyester,
yeah,
polyester.
when they get when they get wet.
Yeah. So uh yeah, just wear proper swim clothes. So like in proper swim clothes, like a pair of cargo shorts or like a baggy t-shirt, like that's made of cotton will like weigh you down and it's gonna tire you out a lot quicker. And so just don't wear like casual clothes and if at if possible, just always wear proper swimwear, like things that are made for to get in the water, like to get in the salt water, to get in the
Right.
pool water, and
Yeah.
like because if you wear like regular clothes, it's probably gonna get destroyed, and the quality of it is gonna decrease,
Yeah, and
and then
then
longevity too. And if if you don't have swimwear, which is completely fine, a good decent substitute while it's pushing it a little bit is probably athletic clothes because they're made of polyester. They're sweat wicking. They don't retain water as easily as cotton clothes.
right.
Uh, like maybe running shorts, like the ones that aren't very baggy. That you could wear those. Or even like a polyester t-shirt. But the longevity of those clothes will not last. So, as best as possible, a wear proper swim clothes that are made for swimming. But in substitute, you could wear this athletic clothes,
All right.
but nothing too baggy, nothing too baggy, nothing too loose. It has to be made out of a synthetic fiber.
Yeah, and then if you have a choice to have something like a bright color,
Yeah.
it's also going to add for safety.
Because lifeguards can see you from the distance, especially if you're working if it's at a beach or a lake. They can see you, they can identify you if you're in trouble, like especially if you're wearing orange or neon or like a neon color or neon pink especially. They can see you, they can identify you and see if you need help. So yeah. The third do is to check the weather before going to the water. Like everything you do, you check the weather. If you need a jacket, if it's gonna rain, if it's gonna be hotter, it's gonna be colder, especially in the U.S. because the weather can oscillate between 40s to all the way to the 90s. So
Yeah, even 100.
yeah, even 100.
How about in the Philippines?
In the Philippines, it's pretty consistent. Like it's consistently gonna be hot. I mean, the only time it's really gonna get cold is like in the morning or in the afternoon, right?
But why don't you check
Oh yeah. Checking the weather before going to the water is important. It doesn't matter where you are because if you check for weather, you can check if there's a thunderstorm, a storm, rain, heavy clouds. All of those could be signs of lightning. And you typically don't want to be in a body of water when there's lightning around because it could strike the water and you could get electrocuted in effect. So
Yeah, and
yeah.
that also includes in checking the weather is the water temperature, because you have to be aware on the body of water or the kind of the pool where you're going. You have to be aware on what's the temperature of that pool or the lake or
The ocean, the
the
beach.
ocean. Yeah, yeah. Or just like for example, like right now where me and JB are lifeguarding, there are three swimming pools in the facility. So each pool has its specific temperature. So that's one thing. Even it's an indoor pool, each of the pool is having a specific temperature. So
And that even then, if there's lightning outside and you're in indoor pool,
that's right.
yeah,
Yeah.
you still have to evacuate
Yeah.
the pool
So
because it's
even
not
if
safe.
it's indoor pool, just like what happened recently, I think last Wednesday, it's an indoor pool, and although we have heard that there will be thunderstorms around 5 o'clock, still we have to be aware. So when the lifeguard says, "Oh, we have to clear the pool for like 30 minutes because we have thunderstorm right above our head," so we, we can understand that that's for the safety reasons. Yeah, not just for yourselves, for the pool users, and also for the lifeguard, for everyone.
Yeah, right. And another part of checking the weather is you have to check for wind because the wind can affect the waves, and then if the waves are uh,
Yeah,
very violent,
yeah,
just like it's not good to swim,
yeah. When you go to an open water, like in a lake
especially in a lake or
well, in Philippines, we don't have much lakes, but it's we have almost um
it's basically all
yeah
ocean around you.
the
So
ocean. Yeah.
so basically the person who
oh yeah, we mentioned that before. We supposed to check if there's thunderstorms, heavy clouds, heavy rain, like rain, wind,
Mhm.
uh, the temperature outside, the forecast for the rest of the day.
Mhm.
Usually it's pretty consistent in the
Yeah,
Philippines, but
that's right.
in the US it's very volatile, especially in the spring to summer season. So yeah.
So what thunder
Okay, so the beach, the pool, the lake will already take care of that. But just to know, they will if they see lightning or they get alert if there's lightning or thunder, uh, they will have to evacuate the pool for or like the body of water for how long?
30 minutes,
Yeah, 30 minutes.
and So you have to wait it out for 30 minutes before you can go back to the pool or the
Until they tell you,
beach.
until
Yeah,
they
or
tell you
until the
so.
lifeguard um, annou-
Announces.
announces that it is safe to swim. Actually, it's for American Red Cross. I think it's an international rule that the when you hear lightning, thunder and lightning, something like that, you have to count 30 minutes. Not unless there's another thunder that's going to happen, then you have to restart the counting of 30 minutes.
And even then, you can just you can save your time by not actually going to the bottom, the indoor outdoor pool doesn't matter, the lake or the beach. If you just simply just check the weather. If there's going to be lightning,
Yeah, that's
you might
right.
as well
Yeah,
just not go.
yeah, yeah.
Save it for another day.
Yeah, save your time.
Yeah.
And uh, putting yourself at risk or not putting yourself in a situation.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, let's keep going.
So, something that most people glance over is they don't stay well hydrated. So, especially in a beach or in a lake environment, it's going to be hot. You're going to be outside. It's going to be most likely sunny, and since this all the heat is beating down on you, you're gonna sweat. You're gonna sweat a lot more, and you're not gonna notice that you're sweating as much. It's because you're covered in water, and the lake or the ocean water is gonna keep on rinsing it off, so you're not gonna notice it. So, and people don't realize how dehydrated they become, and when you become dehydrated, you you can suffer from dehydration. You're not gonna be as well oriented. You can suffer from heat illnesses a lot easier, right? Because
Yeah.
so staying well hydrated helps keep the body regulated because water is basically the body's
Mhm.
Yeah,
cooler. Yeah,
heat exhaustion.
like heat exhaustion. Yeah, you don't especially at a beach or a lake because you don't want to have to get caught in the currents or out there in the open water where it's much more less controlled compared to a pool. Of course, the pool is safer, but nonetheless, stay well hydrated because you're not going to notice you're sweating as much just because you're in the water. And by the way, swimming is around like 4 times as harder as running, right?
Yeah, because yeah, the effect of the water on your body will
Yeah, it's a full body
while you
workout
do
too.
water activities. Yeah. So and in connection with this fourth um uh
Do.
do
Yeah.
try not to um overexert uh um like when you exercise in the water. So you have to
Oh yeah, we'll
know
get
your
to that.
limits.
Yeah, we'll get to that later
Yeah,
on during
yeah.
one of our
Mhm.
talks.
Well, but I want to go back to our parents have
Just
even
people.
that swimming pool. We don't actually try to remind. Some parents have noticed that we're not so I think this is a very good reminder for everybody, whether you or or a long swim, to stay hydrated. So I do have a question. Uh, if you are doing a long swim or athletic, what what can you share or say about staying hydrated, especially if you're swimming long distance?
Well, you have to roughly calculate um how fit you are, your fitness level at that time you're planning to do a long swim, and you also have to calculate um, that how long you're going to swim. So before the swim, you have to hydrate yourself, and then somewhere in between, you have to pause for a while and rehydrate.
Has it ever happened to you that you were so dehydrated while you're swimming that what happened to you while you were in the water?
Well, if you're not well hydrated or you feel the dehydration in the middle of a mile swim or 2 mile swim, then what you can feel is uh, you're not as efficient in your swim, or you can feel you're not that you feel like you're out of gas. It's just like the gas in your body when you hydrated.
I see.
Yeah, so if there's a chance, or well, I think it usually happens when there's uh what's that a floating hydration center, or somebody in a kayak, like to assist long distance swimmers to make a pause or serve as a hydration station in the middle of or some of the um spots where they calculated that, or in a certain spot, uh, as swimmers can pause and take a hydration fluid or something like that.
Okay, before we continue, I would just like to make a comment or watching us
Hey, hey, JR.
So let's move on to uh, and then after that, let's see if we can actually ask our audience questions and we can raffle up 100G cash for anybody who will answer our question. Okay. Okay.
Okay. So this relating to what Mr. Alvin Abarquez said, swimming with a friend is something you should do, especially in a lake or a pool, and you're going for a long swim. When you're swimming with a friend, there's someone that can account for you, and you can also account for them, and you can work in tandem to help each other out and look out for each other in the swim. So if one of you starts getting tired, you're overexerting yourself, and you just want to keep up, your friend's probably going to notice that as soon as you're going to slow when you start slowing down, and they can just assist you and say, "Hey, you all right? Do you need help?" And then you can go back to shoreline if you really do need a rest. You can't swim and you can't stand in the water.
Yeah, or in other words, just like what I've learned when I was a young lifeguard, just like JB's age. I think they started lifeguarding when I was 17. So, rule of the thumb is um, try not to swim alone. So, always always swim with a friend or a swimming buddy. Yeah, just like what JB explained. What are the benefits of swimming with a friend or not swimming alone?
Yeah, especially in a very open, uh, uncontrolled body of water. At a pool, it's a much more different scenario. It's not There's not as much emphasis on swimming with a friend because you have the lifeguards with you. They're always on duty. But it's not to say you at you don't have to, because you can be at an Olympic pool and lifeguards can be very far away. If you have a friend with you, they can assess you right away and like tell you to stop if they have to. So yeah.
Yeah, or like because there are some like the youth, yeah, kids, they try to sneak out. Oh, the pool is closed. Oh, okay, so I try to.
Like one of our
Yeah.
guests, yeah.
So I'm a good swimmer, so I can just what do you call that? Like
I can do it myself.
yeah, I can do it myself. No one's here. It's gonna be fun. Uh, I'm all by myself. The pool is all mine, so it's not a very smart idea doing like that. So
Yeah, especially if it's after dark and there's no lifeguards on the scene.
yeah,
They can't account for you. You're basically held responsible to
I agree.
whatever you do.
Right, and
Yeah.
you can never happen. sudden illness might just occur, or just a simple cramp, leg
Yeah,
cramp
right.
happen. Well, then no one could help you because you're all all alone in the pool.
You shouldn't do it in the first place because you're doing this at your own risk without a lifeguard. So, yeah.
Hmm.
So let's move
Okay.
to
So um, I wonder if any of our would like to answer this question. And if you just type your question, I mean your answer, you just type in the comment. The first one, 100 G cash prize. Here.
First one to give the correct answer.
Okay, so what do swimmers need to do when they can see lightning or see a thunder? I repeat. Okay, first one to answer the question. What do swimmers need to do when they can see lightning and thunder? I answer and answer is going to get a cash prize. So, how about do we have any
Oh,
more comments?
I don't know if we're going to give them multiple choice or they have just to answer it.
no, just like
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, over to the do's of swimming.
oh yeah.
Okay, go to
So one of the dues that tie into uh
Yeah.
swimming with wait,
Mhm. Let's go to the slides.
oh okay. Okay, so one of the do's that tie in don'ts. Wait, are we on don'ts now?
Yeah, we're going to the
Oh
don'ts
yeah,
now.
don'ts.
We're done with the dope. We just
So one I want to emphasize this very much is like do not m- mess with lifeguards. It's their job. You stress them out. It's like playing chicken. You know, you don't want to do it. And it stresses the lifeguard out, and they're gonna get it. They're gonna look at you in a bad way. They're gonna look at you sideways. It's like this person is like they're messing with me too much. I'm just not gonna look at them. And then it's gonna be a situation of like a boy cries wolf, where they're gonna think you're just playing around, but then you actually need help, but they're not gonna help you because number one, you kept on messing around with them, and then they're not and they think that you're just messing around. They're going to continue to think you're just messing around, but then when you actually need help, they're not going to be there for you. So yeah, uh, the things that could where things that I would consider like messing with a lifeguard is like doing it anything like a dead man floating, breath holding underwater for like extended periods of time. Uh, gives the lifeguards a scare and gives them incentive to like actually save you. And then when they actually go save you, you don't actually need saving, and all that effort was actually just wasted. So, and the pool's gonna they might kick you out, would they?
yeah, because right now it's one of the um, uh, duty of lifeguards
Oh
to
yeah,
see to it that no swimmer should be playing like a breath holding contest because it might lead you to hyperventilation, or you're depriving yourself because it's like a contest. You're thinking you're just having fun of that contest, but you're depriving yourself of enough oxygen in the process of the contest. So it might lead to drowning, or you know, um, it will give you headache. Yeah, so yeah, it will lead to different respiratory or body illnesses, and it's not gonna be fun anymore when you have those kind of situation.
so yeah, and also these are these are regular pool rules. It's like don't run like with your friends very hard, or with anyone, or or do anything that of the sort that makes a lifeguard have to call you out because they like trust me, they don't want to call you out. They don't want to have to use their authority at the pool to like tell you to like, hey, don't do that. And it's policy for a lifeguard if they see someone doing something that they're not supposed to. It's policy that you tell them to not do it, and you tell them of the consequences and the repercussions, like there's like suspension of license at the pool, getting kicked out of the pool. They don't want to have to say that, but it's policy, and they have to.
Mhm. So, so it's running around messing with running around the pool.
Yeah, I mentioned that.
Well,
You're not supposed to run in the
yeah,
pool in the first
there's
place.
also no running,
Oh, that's not really
no
messing with the
jumping,
life.
no pushing.
That's not messing with the lifeguard anymore. It's just messing with their own life, and because you could, just crack your head on the side of the pool and you're like, boom, you're dead. You have a
Yeah.
concussion. That's not messing with the lifeguard anymore.
Yeah.
But you're making lifeguards' job a lot harder.
Yeah. And so this was a discussion with Esther Johnson earlier. Kids really forget this rule. Do not run around the pool because the being at the pool. But I guess if parents actually explain to the kids that, if you run around the pool, slide ka diha, magparok na imong ulo, makuha na imong ulo, makasabot din siguro na ang bata. Pero
So we don't want that thing to happen just to let the parents, let the adults understand the
The
what's that?
consequences of your
The
actions.
consequences, the rationale why lifeguards have to stop you from running because
I mean,
that's
yeah,
for
I
their
mean,
safety.
you can already come to that conclusion, and you're not supposed to run in your own mind, and it's common. It should be common sense, even though common sense is not that common, that you might slip and fall because the surface of the pool around it is very wet. So yeah.
Yeah, and almost always parents or the kid or those who are um, pool users when they are called out with the lifeguard, no running, no pushing, or like no horse playing, they get offended because first they don't understand why because they just want to have fun. But you can have fun, but you have to follow the safety rule.
Yeah, and it's the lifeguard's job to say it in that way because they have to use their authority to they have to exercise their authority at the pool to put an emphasis on the rules and keep everybody safe. It's not because they want to offend you. It's because they have to use that tone to
Yeah.
actually keep you in check and keep the people around you in check.
and also,
And let me finish, but I believe wasn't one of the pools that we went to stop letting kids go to the pool is because at Glen Point.
oh yeah,
Yeah, they stopped letting kids go to the pool because they were always messing around. They didn't follow the lifeguard. So yeah, if that's one situation where messing with the lifeguard really leads to you're not allowed to swim at the pool, not just because not you exclusively, but all of the kids. So yeah.
so live talk and we have why people also for the parents, this is the reason why more children going to school that there's no listen to you. So instead of always calling out the kids, stop running, stop. Is the parents already already
Okay, we're
yeah.
kind of straying away from that.
Then we also have parents out there who's watching. Yeah, they would know. Running.
So, moving on to our second thing that you shouldn't do is like don't swim in the dark or at night, especially after because if you're in a lake or an open body of water or the like an ocean or at a beach, there's usually not a lifeguard there in the first place because it's after hours, and swimming, even if it says swim at your own risk without the lifeguard, it's not recommended that you do because one, it's nighttime. In this situation, it's nighttime, and two, there isn't a lifeguard because at nighttime there are nocturnal animals that come out at night that can be more dangerous than the ones that come out in the day, so they can hunt for prey and feed themselves. And you don't want to become part of that. So yeah,
Part of the brain.
yeah. And not even just yeah, and I can relate that to one situation where I believe we were at a resort in the Philippines and they stopped us from kayaking because the person there told us like, oh yeah, there's gonna be animals out at night, so you're not gonna want to be out there in a kayak in the water. So yeah,
That was
and
6 p.m. when we were told
so that was pretty. Even then, that's pretty early. Is that pretty early for the Philippines or no?
No, that's already about to be
Yeah, that's really late. Because it's going to get dark starting like in Philippines, starting like maybe 5 no 6 p.m.
Yeah, and here in the U.S.,
Quarter to
and I say
6.
yeah, and I say dark slash the night because here in the U.S. it's usually like it can be from it's like 9 to 8, like 9 p.m.
summer.
in the afternoon and in the summertime, and it's
Yeah, that which brings me one time we are close in the swimming pool and swimming pool.
Um, in the middle of the summer, since it's going to get dark around 8:30 or 9, so our we close the pool at 8. Yeah, and it's still bright. Like in Philippines, it's like 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the Philippines. Here, in the middle of the summer, yeah, that's how we can I can compare how bright it is. There's still sun at 8 o'clock here. Also sa gabi, plus also sa gabi, 4:30 or 5 sa hapon ang kahayagon. Well, yeah,
oh, that's an indoor pool. That's I was about to. No, I needed to finish so I could elaborate on
that's
that.
outdoor pool and at Cebu City Sports Center. That's um the closing hours there for the pool. As far as I could remember, it's 9 o'clock, I think. Yeah, yeah, 9 o'clock. Yeah.
So before I was interrupted, I was about to say they're not just like animals, especially when it comes to out like bigger bodies of water, like a lake or at the beach. Um, there's underwater debris, and you can't really like see underwater debris, the debris underwater because it's of course it's nighttime, and especially if the water is murky. Here in the U.S., water isn't as clear, so even identifying things that are under the water is going to be even harder. So, and this debris you can harm yourself on debris if you come in contact with it, especially if it's like coral, which is like sharp and can cut you, and you don't want to be injured when you go into the water. So just don't swim at night. And but when we say dark in the night, this usually pertains to open bodies of water where there's no lighting because at a pool in the dark in the nighttime, it can still be hours where you can swim. It's just very well lit. You can still swim there. So this is why we say dark in the night because you don't even then in the pool you're not supposed to be skinny dipping after hours because there's no lifeguard and yeah, it's pretty dark. So there's no lighting to actually guide you to see where the bottom of the pool actually is. So, yeah. So I think they heard you already.
Okay. just to um
Reiterate.
yeah, to read again the question. Um, for a 100 Gcash prize, the question is, what do swimmers need to do when they see lightning or hear thunder? Or yeah, so that's the question. What do swimmers need to do when they see lightning or hear thunder?
And you can just post it in the comment section of Facebook because there's no comment in YouTube
And it has
channel.
to be right. The first right one.
Okay.
So moving on to our third don't. Just don't swim with a lifeguard. We already emphasized this a lot. Doesn't matter where you are. Doesn't matter if you're indoor or outdoor pool, lake or beach, ocean, sea. Doesn't matter where you are. Even at like a simple body of water. Even at a pond. Actually, not. Yeah, just like any lifeguarded body of water. Just don't swim without a lifeguard. You even it can say there's no lifeguard, swim at your own risk. You shouldn't because it's not as safe, and you don't want to be chancing your life. So yeah.
Mhm.
So
So don't swim without Alvin or Katie.
and even with friends around, even if they are certified lifeguards, even if I were with my friends, I wouldn't chance going to the beach or the lake without a proper lifeguard because first, I'm only acquainted with a pool setting. I'm not acquainted. I don't understand how uh lifeguarding situation would happen at a lake or a beach because one, they're two different situations, and just because I'm an experienced lifeguard here does not translate over here and here directly. So would you agree with that, Dad?
Yes, yeah, it's always a different situation. Even it's there's a specific training as a pool lifeguard compared to a lake or an open water lifeguard.
So that means that if you're going to get beach, that's
Like
you're gonna
I
have
can
a
I
hard
can do
time.
basic CPR, but
Oh.
when it comes to certain situations, I don't know where equipment is. I'm not allowed to touch
Yeah,
equipment because I don't work there. I don't. We don't have as much emphasis on because they use buoys at even at a pier. They use buoys instead of round ones like a donut.
yeah,
They use that. I don't have as much
life
experience.
ring.
Yeah, life.
Oh, so it's not
Oh, it's a joke. It's fine.
Yeah,
So yeah.
you can say that, but it's almost always s- safer to go for a swim with the right lifeguard assigned to the facility. You cannot just say, "Oh, I can take care of myself. I'm a lifeguard."
So yeah. One example I can provide is saves as when you're like saving a head, neck, and spinal injury. It's very different when you're saving a head, neck, and spinal victim in the pool compared to a open body of water such as a lake or an ocean. It's very different because one, there's a current. Two, you're not gonna have easy access to a wall where you can slide the person onto the board to get out of the water with their head head and neck um yeah, stabilized. So yeah, that's one example where I can provide where just a lifeguard here does not translate to being a lifeguard there. So yeah. So just, it doesn't matter if you're a lifeguard or not. It has to be a lifeguard at pier, yeah, doing lifeguarding at a pier with pier experience. So yeah, it doesn't matter if your friend's a lifeguard. You should always have a lifeguard on duty.
Mhm.
So our another thing you should never do, is leave trash. Doesn't matter if it's your trash, someone else's trash. You don't leave trash near the body of water. So yeah, because it degrades the environment. It's very dissatisfying to like see plastic in the water right in front of you, or like just waste in the water. It's very dissatisfying. Doesn't encourage you to swim at the body of water more often, and you're being courteous to the environment anyway. So
Yeah, and partly it's going to cause eventually it's going to cause some sort of danger if somebody or you yourself leave your trash in the water where you're swimming.
trash can be like anything from coolers to umbrellas, and especially umbrellas because they have metal in them,
Hmm.
and the metal that they use is like very sharp and it's very thin. It can stab you, and you're probably gonna uh, tetanus. You probably have to get a tetanus shot if you get hit pierced by one. Because it's gonna be rusted in the salty water or in the okay, not really in the pool, but in open water, and even in the pool, you don't want to leave any wrappers. You don't want to leave any plastics. You just bring all your stuff with you. Make sure you count for it all because it's not a pleasing sight to see like trash in the water. So just yeah, don't leave trash. Doesn't matter if it's yours. Doesn't matter if it's someone else's. You don't leave it near in the water.
Yeah, part of giving back the environment, taking care of the environment.
Dad, what's the most common thing that people leave in the swimming pool? Most common.
I would
Well, it vary, but uh, one of
bottles
other common things,
like
uh,
trash.
like
Just
the
simply trash.
what's that hairpin,
Hair ties.
hair ties. Well,
Doesn't
when it comes to hair pin, it's made of metal, and when it gets to the water, it gets rusty, or even if it doesn't get rusty at that on that day, and
it's gonna
somebody
get
step
rusted
on
by
it, then it'll
yeah.
get hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So our last and final don't is don't swim when in doubt. See, the thing is, this is basically the biggest rule of thumb. If it doesn't look right, don't swim. Does it? If clouds don't look right, don't swim. If it doesn't sound right, don't swim. If it doesn't look right, so cover all your five senses. So, uh, what are the five senses again? So it's sight, sound, taste,
Touch.
touch, and hearing.
Yes.
So if it doesn't look right, if the clouds look heavy, they're dark and gray. If you see lightning, if you see trash in the water, if it looks like there are really shady people, don't go. If you hear something that shouldn't, if the waves sound very violent, if you hear thunder, don't go. If yeah, and if you hear someone say, "Don't go in the water," do you want a chance going in the water? Don't go, especially if it's from a lifeguard. If you So you saw, you heard, if you saw, you heard. So yeah, those two
You
especially.
feel.
If you feel like there's something is really off, just don't go.
Yeah. Even some feeling about yourself, or
Yeah, it doesn't have to
I'm
be about the environment
yeah,
around you. It can be about
I'm
yourself.
not feeling so well, so should I go swimming or not? Or yeah, if you feel you're not really well, so don't take the risk,
Yeah,
because you'll never know. It might just go worse when you go to the water.
Yeah.
yeah. So the biggest rule of thumb: don't swim when in doubt.
Yeah, and then when you're swimming in the beach and
In the
you,
lake.
you're on a lake. Well, in the beach, there's always sign.
Oh, right.
Don't swim in this spot because there's rip current.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
one thing
Yeah,
I forgot to mention: always look for the signs. If you
yeah,
see if you see a sign that says like, "Oh, lifeguard isn't on duty," don't go. If
yeah,
it's a sign like the
yeah,
riptide,
yeah. There's usually a sign. No lifeguard on duty, or don't swim in this spot for rip currents.
rocky waters,
Yeah, yeah, rough water, something like that. Um, Also, there are instances where the signs are being
like
what's that,
put down.
yeah,
They're
put
like
down or knocked off by or
by anyone or just the wind or just
yeah,
especially in the Philippines because it's
yeah.
very
So So in that situation, try to use your senses, just like what JB said. When you're in
Exactly.
public, there's no sign that there's rip current. It looks like the water is like moving odd. So if you're in doubt, so don't. Yeah.
Yeah, good rule of thumb. Don't swim in doubt. I'll go over the five senses. If one of the senses tell you that there's something wrong, don't do it. And this can pertain to the environment or you yourself. And if you're looking out for someone else, if you are in doubt that they're not fit for the situation, don't let them swim. Try to do your best to advise them to not swim. After all, if you're talking to this person, you're probably their friend.
Yeah. If you're not feeling okay, it should not be okay to swim.
No. Okay. So, we live. If I am on the side, I know I would not be heard. I know this computer. If I have to talk, I have to be like facing. So, our first question for tonight was, what do swimmers need to do when they can see lightning and thunder? If you can answer that one now, let me see. Anne has been, by the way, let's say, oh, Anne is here. Let's say hello to Atian. Atian is here. Okay, night swimming in the Philippines is always fun, Kunudan.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah. Is it ako sa
shit.
Philippines? Yeah, I really like night swimming. It's like adventure. Pero when I became a lifeguard, like more aware
I mean, it really like
Yeah.
it's more emphasis on what body of water you're swimming in. Are you swimming in an enclosed pool? Is it at a lake? Is it at a beach? Is there a lifeguard on duty? Is it day or night?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, this is night swimming. So yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, if there's a lifeguard on duty, and it depends on the body of water. But usually, a good rule of thumb is just like don't swim when it's nighttime.
Yeah.
You can't swim at nighttime if there's well lit. There's a lifeguard on duty. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
so so I guess that was very clear. As long if it's dark, don't swim.
That's
Don't swim in the dark. Kay kuyaw kaayo. Naiungo. Anyway, the second question. So, ang nakadaog sa ato ang first question kay si Anne Marie. She doesn't need a GCash.
How much is that in USD?
oh, sorry.
$10.
If you want the second person give the correct answer, if Anne Marie don't want to give or just ito na kanang
Yeah, time nila.
he weighed niya yung price, giving it to the second to
Okay.
give the correct answer.
Well, it's only Anne here who's leaving comments. Anyway, there are four of you guys who are viewing right now. Thank you so much. Really, if you leave it in a comment and PM us your phone number, we'll send you your prize. And even if I want to give a second one, a second GCash, a second 100 GCash prize, and we have questions for our viewers, I guess we just have to have one for tonight. And this has been our first time together, especially a first time for JB. This is the second time you went live. Remember the one with the Philippine consulate before?
I guess.
Yeah. And then this is Daddy's. He has done a lot of lives already together here in our YouTube channel. But together, the three of us together, this is our first time. We don't want to hold you guys any longer. Thank you so much for coming tonight. For coming this morning. We hope you have learned from the insights of Alvin and JB. I learned something that we did not even talk before. I thought I really thought that we can just any lifeguard no can just be with us during the time when we are swimming. But tonight here in our talk, in our live streaming, I learned from the two of them that a pool lifeguard has been trained differently from a beach lifeguard. So to our friends who go swimming with us and who would say, nabitaw si Alvin na rin, lifeguard good ni. I think that's dangerous if we are in the beach because Alvin's training is for the pool. But of course, he can help. It's just that, like what they were saying, navigating the waters in the beach. If they're not familiar, if the lifeguard is not familiar, then their ability to save you may be not, and
It's not adequate.
yeah, or not adequate, not at its optimum. So it's still best to. Mhm. It's still best to rely on the lifeguard that are really in the beach because they're the best ones who can save you, not your lifeguard friend who's training as lifeguarding at the pool. And I think we would like to end tonight with congratulations to JB. Daddy and I are helping JB with his going on live, sharing his new learning, and also making sure that he shares what he knows. Okay, round of applause for JB. Yay. Okay, congratulations, JB. Okay, congratulations. And a big thank you to Daddy, our expert in the family. Okay. Yes, those were very, very helpful. How many years have you been lifeguarding, Dad?
Mm, So,
Goodness, that's a lot of years. And then JB just said that he's starting much younger than you are. So, water safety, everybody. Have fun in your swimming from the Abarquez family, from the alumni of the Rizal Youth Leadership Institute. Keep our youth safe and enjoy your summer swimming. Thank you and bye.